And I want to stress, though, that this is a national issue because, in fact, it's a major problem for Conservative parties across the country. At a state level, the Liberal Party is a mess in many states. In Western Australia, the party has been reduced to a rabble with only 3 lower house members. In South Australia, the Liberals were tossed out after one term and their ineffectual opposition leader quit last week to be replaced by Vincent Tarzia, who's a relative unknown. In Victoria, the Liberals, as you know, have struggled to make an impact or provide strong leadership or even show a unified front. So thank goodness there's a Liberal government surviving in Tasmania, and the LNP are looking good for victory in Queensland's October election, because in New South Wales, the party has now become a clown show. It was revealed yesterday that a stuff-up at party headquarters means nominations, as I mentioned before, for local government elections were not filed. This means that 40 or more sitting Liberal councillors will lose their jobs because they haven't been renominated. And there are another 100 candidates or so who won't get a shot at being elected. The opposition leader, Mark Speakman, himself almost unknown to the public, is calling for the state director to quit over the fiasco.
The Liberal Party has successfully attended to these basics until yesterday. I don't think there's any need for federal intervention, but there is a need, I think, for the state director to fall on his sword and to recognise the CEO buck stops with him.
Now, that State Director, Richard Shields, hasn't fallen on his sword yet, which seems incredible given dozens of Liberal politicians and candidates have been shafted. What an absolute shambles. One of the councillors now facing the chop is John Dorahy, a City of Wollongong councillor. He joins me live from Wollongong. Thanks for joining us, John. Now, you're already a councillor, but you were nominating to contest the mayoral position, weren't you? That hasn't happened. And now you're going to lose your spot as a councillor as well. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely correct, Chris. It's shameful what's going on, but unfortunately the process got let down, and there's 3 of us who won't be contesting this election.
That's just outrageous. How does this stuff up occur? Surely you've had to sign forms or something with the Liberal Party to approve your nomination. Is that the process? You've signed forms and they haven't forwarded them, or are they supposed to just look after it all on your behalf?
Correct. The process, Liberal headquarters here in New South Wales, is that we as councillors, sitting or candidates, should I say, fill in the appropriate forms, nominations, and we forward it to Liberal headquarters, who then collate it all and forward it on to the Electoral Commission for designation. And that hasn't happened in.
And presumably, if you knew there was a delay or a stuff-up or whatever, you could have just gone straight to the Electoral Commission yourself and nominated, right?
That's the crazy part, Chris. I don't understand it. You know, in any business, if you've got a flaw of, look, I don't have enough personnel, I haven't got enough time, generally you outsource it, if you like, or resource it back to those who are in charge of their own destiny. But in this instance, it hasn't happened. It should have happened last probably Friday at the latest, so that then we local candidates from different LGAs would have had the opportunity to present it ourselves to the Electoral Commission and had no qualms.
You must be just furious, along with so many others. Have they contacted you to apologise or explain how or why this happened?
I smirk and I apologise for that, but no, I have not had a personal call. Unfortunately, I guess there's probably too many of us Liberal councillors and or candidates that putting their hand up that were hopeful of being able to stand in this election. Unfortunately, no, there's been no connection and there's been no apologies. It's shameful, that's for sure.
Yeah, now what should happen? There's a lot of focus on Richard Shields. He should fall on his sword and they should sort out head office. Fair enough. That seems to be unarguable. But is there any chance that the Electoral Commission might, open these nominations, accept them now? It's such an unusual event and, I don't know, maybe fine the Liberal Party but still take all the nominations?
Yeah, Chris, you've hit on a really good point. I mean, from my interpretation, and, I've been a sales manager, sales director for an international company 17 odd years, and compliance is really a strong element of that role. Now, within this, it would have been a really good idea to have this compliance factor in play. It hasn't. I don't know what they'll do going forward. The Electoral Commission probably had the opportunity, although they are a police or regulatory overseer, not so much an opportunity to come back and provide options. And so therefore I would recommend that in the future there is an opportunity for whether there's a glitch, and particularly where it's a major party such as the Liberal Party and or the Labor or the Greens in the future, that an option be there, that if there is a glitch such as this, that there is the opportunity for the Electoral Commission to say, well, okay, let's hold these different LGAs apart. We'll hold their election in 2 weeks, 4 weeks' time, and then everything should be...
There should have been a reminder or something, but it's just a complete stuff up. I feel sorry for you, John, and thanks for explaining that to us. I appreciate it. That's John Dorahy, City of Wollongong councillor.